Hello, everybody. Today, I am remembering the Merrimack restaurant in Manchester, New Hampshire. Have you ever heard of that place? Well, it was a wonderful family-owned restaurant that I worked for in the 80s. And it was a famous political stop for all the presidential candidates at the New Hampshire primaries. That's the side story. So this is one of their signature meals that they used to prepare. Tenderloin tips. So it was thinly sliced tenderloin tips. And they would cook them on the grill with some butter. So I have in my pan some tenderloin tips in butter. And then they would serve them with, smother them with a mushroom gravy. So I got some gravy going right there. I'm gonna add the mushrooms after it's cooked. So that's boiling. And I'm gonna continue on with this video and talk about the wonderful experience I had working at the Merrimack restaurant. Here's the tenderloin tips after I flip them over. Nice thinly sliced. And the good thing about this is they're not so thick that you need to cook them forever, and they're not diced up where you put them on your fork and they're gonna fall out. You can eat these one bite at a time. So these are very lightly seasoned. Salt, pepper, that's pepper, salt. I seasoned the other side already. And a smidge of garlic, just a smidge. This meat does not need a lot of seasoning. So working at the Merrimack restaurant was the best job I ever had as a teenager. My sister worked there for many years as a waitress, and I worked there for a family restaurant, family business, and I'll tell you, they treated me so wonderful. Stanley and Maria, and Maria's sister Connie and her husband Nelson, and Maria and Connie's parents Effie and George. Effie helped do the prep work in the kitchen. She was older, and George was the host. And wonderful family. And Stanley treated me like his own son. My father died when I was young, and my family didn't have a lot of money, and Stanley would give me food to take home, especially at Christmas, give me a nice ham and stuff like that. And I'll tell you, it doesn't get any better than working for a nice family business. Thing about the restaurant business is that unless you own the restaurant or you're a big-time chef, you don't make a ton of money. So tenderloin tips, that was one of their signature dishes. This does not take long to cook. I'm shutting the burner off right now. And there's my gravy. See the boil? It's boiling. And I'm gonna add cornstarch and water mixture. And that's gonna boil. Actually, I'm gonna turn this burner back on here. And I'm on low, and I'm gonna throw a little of this wine in there. This is a nice Willamette Valley, that's how you pronounce it, Willamette Valley, Oregon wine, Pinot. Nice thing is, it's not a cheap wine, but it's got a screw top. I like that. My uncle lived in Salem, Oregon, and he brought me and my mother when we visited in 1993 to Willamette Valley, and we did a wine tasting tour. I'm gonna add just a little bit more. I don't need a lot. It's just enough. That's basically to flavor the gravy. That's gonna deglaze that pan a little bit. And now the gravy is thickening up. And after it's done thickening up, I'm going to put those mushrooms in there. It's going to be a nice mushroom gravy. The mushrooms do not need to cook. So the tenderloin tips at the Merrimack restaurant, that was one of their signature dishes. And they would typically serve it with, you had your choice of potato and vegetable. Most people opted for the mashed potatoes because the gravy over the tenderloin tips went well with the mashed potatoes. Or if you got the French fries, they would serve it on the side. And they would also, the meal also included a salad to start things off. And they had bread and cheese and crackers too. It was legendary cheese, homemade cheese dip that went with the cheese and crackers. So I'm gonna make more videos about the legendary Merrimack restaurant because it was just simple home cooking that was fantastic, and didn't get any better than that. And it was a wonderful family-owned business, reasonable prices, and boy, I'll tell you, I miss that place. I have excellent memories of working there over the years, and I still remember a lot of their cooking, and I learned a lot from Stanley and Maria and Connie in the kitchen. I started as a dishwasher, and then I was a cook, and I'll tell you, it was really good. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm gonna make more videos of favorites from the Merrimack restaurant back in the day. Do you have any restaurants like this that you remember from back in the day? Let me know.